Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
So I'm just now noticing, of course, that the sound has been turned off this whole time. So sorry about that, guys. Let me just talk through a little bit of what I just talked through on at the beginning of the stream. So let me also check. Hey, Sogom. Yeah, how to be a better indie dev. We're just we meet daily on the channel and we just go through the project that I'm working on and we address specific issues. So yeah, that's just kind of what we're doing. So as I mentioned, my microphone was out. I want to talk through some of the things that I just talked through. So again, I apologize for that. It happens periodically when I turn the stream on. So yesterday we addressed the consolidation of the weapon collision, so specifically with the Vulcan cannon. So now everything that happens, the Vulcan cannon has basically one script that it goes through and checks to see if a bullet is colliding with any enemy that comes on screen. And the way I had it previously, it was really convoluted, and there was just a lot of duplicate code in there. My goal was to reduce and remove as much duplicate code as possible, and I think I successfully did that with the Vulcan cannon. I still have to add the shotgun and the katana blade in there, and so we're going to be doing those here very soon, maybe even tonight's stream. But also mentioned that yesterday after I got off stream, I was able to spend a little bit more time and get all of the enemy's health bars in place. So that's what you just saw a minute ago. Now you probably even saw the popcorn eyeballs. And when I destroyed the little popcorn eyeballs that kind of go in waves across the screen, they didn't have health bars. Well, that's because they each have basically like one hit point or something like that. So as soon as you destroy them, the health bar is gone. It basically doesn't even give it enough time to show up on screen. So that's kind of why that was occurring the way it was. Similarly, it's a kind of a similar circumstance with the Necro Star chunk. The Necro Star, the large Necro Star, you can hit as long as you hit the soft spot, but it's supposed to kind of look like it's invulnerable. So there's no, there's really no health bar that shows up for that. And one last thing that I did was I didn't let the health bar show up for the boss. So let's look at those couple of use cases that I just mentioned. First of all, enemy 3 does do the draw event. So minimize this compile window, and it does inherit from the parent. So we can see here that enemy 3 has the parent of object-based enemy. In object-based enemy's draw event, we check to see if the enemy's hit points are above 0, and the hit points for the enemy are less than the maximum hit points. In that way, the health bar doesn't show up until you actually hit the enemy once. So it should reduce some of the extra, sprites and images that are on screen, and reduce a little bit of processing power. Not that I'm too concerned with the processing power, but it should just keep the screen clear a little bit. So here's the code for this. It's really simple. GameMaker makes it really simple to draw a health bar above any unit. You basically have 4 variables that you pass in, and then you have 2 more parameters that you pass in to determine whether or not you want to show the background and whether or not you want to show the border. And the border is basically a 1 pixel border around the entire square for the health bar. So you just pass in the top left X and Y position, and then the bottom right X and Y position, and from that point it knows exactly where you want to draw the sprite. I just basically used offsets from each sprite and the X and Y position from each sprite, and then just determined where above each one of them that I wanted it to show up. And I generally have them showing up all in the same place. I might make some special exceptions. Something that I saw was the fly might need to have a health bar that's a little bit closer to his head, but other than that, it should be pretty good. So like I said, the 4 variables, I guess there's a few more things that are also in here, a few more parameters that are also in here. Top left X and Y position, bottom right X and Y position. How many hit points should be showing up on the health bar right now? It's a simple calculation. HP divided by max HP times 100 will give you the percentage. For instance, let's say your enemy has 300 hit points. Well, it's not an even 100, so you can't just subtract off of 100. So the calculation is pretty simple. It's just HP divided by max HP, and then you multiply. That gives you a percentage, and then you multiply that times 100, and that will basically help GameMaker know where to draw the health bar in its in what it's filling in with the rectangle that's drawn. Black, I think this is the let's see, the background color. This is the what happens when it gets to the low point of the health bar, what it looks like when it's at the high point of the health bar. So this is like when it's down, I don't know, below 50%, it starts turning red. When it's above 50%, it's basically green and starts heading towards the red when the enemy starts losing hit points. Let's see, direction. This is an option that basically allows you to set the anchor point on the health bar. You can basically say left, right, top, or bottom on this, and I think left is actually marked at 0, so that'll basically just make the health bar shrink from right to left as you're looking at the enemy and destroying the enemy, and basically decrementing the enemy's hit points. So again, this is in the base enemy. It's in the draw. The base enemy is basically the parent. So here's the base enemy. It's got all these children here, and in order to evoke this event inside of a child object, all you have to do is either have no draw event, or if you do have a draw event, you're basically telling GameMaker that you want this particular object to do some unique things compared to the parent, and so then you have to declare whether you want to inherit the event or not. If you declare event inherited, then you do inherit the event. So in this case, like I said, this particular enemy has the event inherited because we do want to basically have it having the health bar. But look, its hit points are 1, its max hit points are 1. The health bar is never going to show up. So that's kind of a unique situation that you'll see there. Something else, the obstacles. I do have these obstacles. The Necro Stars are inheriting from the parent. See, notice the object base enemy here. But then in the draw event, we don't have them doing the event inherited. So you're basically telling GameMaker that I don't want this this child object's event that is the same as the parent event, the draw event. We don't want it to inherit from the parent. So we're going to put our own thing in here, and we're not going to declare it. And we're going to say draw. You know, if we did not include this event at all in the Necrostar 1 or 2, then it would automatically inherit from the parent. But since we don't want it to inherit from the parent, we just declare the event, and then inside the action we put a draw self. So that's how we did the Necrostar chunks. And then for the boss, let's look at the boss for level 1. Here he is. And the boss is inheriting from the object base enemy. He has a draw event, and notice we are not doing any event inherited inside of here. So I think this basically about sums it up on the enemies. One thing that I might end up doing is just pulling this out. If you saw one of my previous streams, then you know that this right here just determines whether or not to make the unit flash whenever we're hitting it with a weapon. So I think that basically explains health bars. If I wasn't clear, please let me know, and I'll try to explain a little bit more to help clarify. So we're moving into something a little bit more difficult today. Something where, again, we're just going to be displaying some feedback to the player in the UI to show them that they've destroyed an enemy, and to immediately show them how many points that's adding to their score. So I think the way to do this is going to be to just create an object and have the object have a draw event, and then pass in a variable or a parameter into the draw event that will basically start activating the draw event to show the score. So let's just go ahead and do that here. I think I have a helper group of objects. Let's see, I might have deleted it yesterday because I think I was starting one and then I didn't have enough I didn't have any objects to put in it. So take it out of here and not in here, drop it in the objects, so now it's at the same level as everything else. Here it is. Create, don't need to create a group, but we want to create an object inside of here. This one will be object score indicator, and I'm just thinking for a minute, guys, on how to do this. I think I want to do it here, and I think it will have no sprite. I'll do a draw event, and I'll do a create event. Inside of the create event, I'll do a drop an action, and I will say var score, or not var, but we're creating a property here, so we want to say score IT. I'm just going to call this score indicator text. Score indicator text, and we will say false for now. And inside of the draw event, we'll add an action. We'll say if score IT is well, just if score IT, because we'll set score IT whenever whenever the enemy dies, we'll set score IT, so that should help us pass it into here. And so if score IT exists, then we'll do the draw event, and I think we just do a draw text, and we do the X and Y position and the string. Let me just think about this for a second. This may be done. I may not need this. I'm just trying to think about exactly where to put this. I may not need this inside of the inside of its own object. I may just be able to drop this inside of the object base enemy. And yeah, I think that's what I'll do actually. So let's just delete this guy. So there goes my helpers again, but that's not to worry here. I'm actually going to rename it a little bit. Just call it helpers, because I'm sure at some point I'll have a helper that I need to create an object of. So enemies, object base enemy. I was thinking about this at work today, and I was thinking this would probably be the best way to do it, so it just took me a minute to get to that point. Okay, so we'll do the same thing here. If score IT, right? And we'll set score IT on death, right? So score IT equals false at first, right? And let's do this inside of the script object base enemy init. Let's keep it clean. Enemies, base enemy init. We'll just say score IT down here. Score indicator text equals false. So now we've got it set. And inside of the draw event, we'll just look for it. If score IT exists, that will basically evaluate to false until we set it. And so then we'll do one more thing here, which is destroy. We'll add a destroy event for the base enemy. And up to this point, we have not set a destroy event for the base enemy. But it's going to be helpful here because we want this to occur for every single enemy. So let's go ahead and set it in here. We'll just say score IT equals, let's do plus, and then say this will be in quotes. And then if we want, what we'll do is we'll have each enemy that will not be just +1 will have its own score IT that it sets inside of its own destroy event. So we will do an event inherited inside of every enemy that's been created because we want the score IT to be 1 for starters whenever the enemy dies. Let me just think for a minute though. So, of course, if the enemy's dead, it's going to be hard to draw this. I don't really want to just make the enemy invisible until this thing disappears. So I'm going back and forth in my head of maybe it is a better idea to have a new object that gets created right in the location of the death. So let me just think through this for a second. If I did do that with helpers inside of objects, I'm going to go ahead and start creating an object with this. Object score indicator. We'll go ahead and do a draw event here. Yep. And add event, create. Add event step. No, we don't need a step event. I'm going to start out the same way I did. Score IT equals false. I think this is probably going to be the better way to do it. Draw will be here. Score IT. Is score IT. Then draw text at this own XY position because we're already going to have an XY position because we're going to create this object. And the text will be it will generally be +1. Question is, the age-old question of GameMaker is, how do you pass a variable into an object that gets created besides the X and Y position? I think it used to be possible in the old versions of GameMaker, but the new versions of GameMaker don't really allow it. And I tried doing something like this where I basically created my own script creation object where I could pass variables in, and I couldn't get it to work. So I might end up doing a couple of score indicators. I think that's probably what I'll do. Score text. And score text will be +1. Okay. And I've also got to look up a couple of text functions real quick. Just get me to text draw GameMaker. Display. Not exactly what I wanted. Try again. I think I'm doing it wrong. Draw text. Okay, so I can do text color. I've got tons of draw methods in my own stuff, so let me go look at some of my own. Controller persistent, draw event. So basically draw set font, that's the I needed to check on. And set vertical line, set horizontal line, text. I don't see any colors in here, mainly because I think the colors that I have don't exist. Chris, I think you're in chat. Do you for the score indicator? Do you want me to use the Go text, or do you want me to use the smaller text? Some of the other text indicators at the top. Larger text, okay, got it. So that usually happens, I think, with font title. And let me just make sure here. We've got font title there. Credits. Let's see. Kills, guys. General small. I'm looking for the Go text. Where's that at? That might just be within the controller for room level 1. Let me check the draw event here. Yeah, font title. Okay, cool. Set alpha to 1. This is good because we'll change the alpha. Let's just grab this guy right here. Copy. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. So we'll draw it all here. We're going to do it right at the position that it was created. So draw text will occur next. XY, score text. And this will be at yeah, X and Y. So draw set alpha will be here. we will do a counter. Let's do this inside of the create event. So we'll do score display counter, score display counter, SDC equals 0. So we will create a step event. Drop it here. SDC plus plus. And for now, we may not even need that SDC counter, but once we start showing it, then we will start moving the X and Y position, mainly the Y position. So I might, in the step event, decrement the Y position. See if I can do it like that. I've never tried that way before. I'm gonna move this guy here. Now, I'm actually thinking I won't need this, and we will basically say draw set alpha to 1 initially. I'm gonna just set a couple of helper variables where IT created is false. Cancel, stay here. Score IT created is equal to false. Then set it to true here. So it'll definitely be 1 when it starts, just for the heck of it. And then we'll do an else. And then we can say, let's create a variable here. This will be the alpha equals 1. We'll set this to 1 alpha initially, right? Then alpha will be alpha minus equals 0.5, and then draw set alpha to alpha. Pretty sure we'll have to make custom fonts for that, though. Those might be way too big. Yeah, they might be. And then the last thing we'll do here is if alpha less than or equal to 0, then instance destroy. There we go. So the Y position will step upwards each time through the step event, Y minus minus, really simple Y. Create will be score IT created, score text alpha. Now I might I might create a parent object with this, and the only thing that will be different with each of the child objects will be the score text. And the only other question that I have is, can I set score IT equal to true? You know what, I might not even need this. I think I can just keep it. I think, you know, now that I'm thinking about this, I think I can just remove this and take this out altogether. I won't even need to set that, because basically I just want to start creating the animation as soon as the enemy is dying. So I don't think I'm going to have to do anything crazy with any trickery or anything. So let's just try this now that we don't need it here in the base enemy object, but we do still want the destroy event. So on destroy, we're going to go ahead and drop this, It'll be instance create at its own XY position and drop the score indicator. And that should kind of handle itself at that point. And I think I created a score IT in the enemy init that I don't need anymore, so I'm going to remove it. Good, good. And I think the last thing I'll have to do is make sure that each of the children inherit the parents destroy event. So let's go ahead and start updating the enemies. Level 1, boss 1, boss 1, destroy. Event inherited. Thumbs up. Good. Okay. Close. Tank. Destroy. Cancel. Event inherited. Thumbs up. Okay. I do want to add this to the tank eyeball because that is technically a child of object-based enemy. So we'll add that in here too. Event inherited. Okay. Boom. Enemy 5. Now this is the one that will basically inherit, but call a different. We will change the indicator text depending on how it's called. I may end up just calling it separately, but we'll worry about that in a moment. Okay, okay. Good there. Object enemy 2. Chris, did I ever check the interpolation? No, I haven't checked that yet. I got another question, Chris. I'm assuming that we don't want the cars to score points, because technically I don't think the cars will actually be able to kill Skycurser. No points for cars, right? Okay. Add event, destroy, control, drop in, paste. Okay, the other thing I'm thinking of here is that I might need to actually set the I might need to set the depth of that particular item inside of the destroy event. So we'll just call it SI for score indicator, var SI, SI dot depth equals depth minus 1. So that should make whatever is calling it the score will show up on top of it. One thing that I haven't done yet is made the explosions that occur show up underneath each of the objects when they're destroyed instead of on top of them. That's, from what I've seen, that's typically what shmups do. But let's just try this for now and kind of see how this feels at first. See if we got it, see if we have any bugs that we need to address, and then we'll go from there. Got it, Chris. Got it. Yeah.
There was a lady that just sold a tea set on Antiques Roadshow. It was worth $90,000.
Oh.
She said she thought maybe over 10. I'm gonna sell that.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Having some problems on that. Oh man, my computer is just really hot. So the game is having a really hard time, as you notice, every time it switches. I don't think that's the problem, though. I think what I'll do for a minute, though, guys, if you guys could allow me to go to a break for a minute, I'm going to set up a fan right next to my computer to keep it a little bit cooler. Don't want it to overheat, so I'm programming on a really old computer. It's time for an upgrade. Yeah, give me a minute, guys. We're going to go on break for a minute. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. That should allow us to get a little bit more power out of it. When it gets hot, it starts slowing down. So just give me a minute here. I'm changing a setting real quick. Okay, got that. Alright. So, next. I don't know if the weirdness on the gameplay was due to my computer running slow, or if it was due to something else. So I'm going to look at that object really quick, and then we're going to go back in game and try it again. So under helpers, object helpers, and score indicator here, we have a create. Draw here. Oh, let me look at something on the create here. Okay, good. Score text. Score text. X and Y. I don't know what the X and Y are evaluating to, but they should be evaluating to wherever that enemy was destroyed at. And let's just, I don't see anything in there that looks crazy, so let's go back in there. It might have just been my computer which is still hot, but it's a little bit cooler than it was a minute ago, so hopefully it runs a little bit smoother. Trying to get all you can out of your computers, man. I've had this computer for a while, and it's been a pretty trustworthy computer, but it might be time for a bigger, better computer, and that will be a lot of fun. So I'm waiting for the compile here.
Mission 1, Death at Dusk. Go!
I think there's a problem with the object more than anything. I don't know what it is right now. I think maybe it's not ever hitting this. Let me just look at draw set alpha real quick. That's way too quick on the I wanted to decrement have about 20 steps where it kind of slowly fades away, maybe even a little bit less. Maybe I'll go down to 2 or 1 on that, but I did not mean for it to be 50%. Let's try this again. I don't know that that would fix it immediately, but let's see what we can get out of that.
Mission 1, Death at Dusk. Go!
Basically happening, but I've got something major weird going on. I think I know what it is. So we may have to do this a little bit differently. I think what we're seeing is that the entire screen is disappearing, and every time that so the draw set alpha is affecting literally everything and not just this object. So man, so basically what's happening is whenever the number fades out and set alpha is set to 0, then everything is getting affected by that. Everything that's drawing on the screen at the time is getting affected by that. So I think what I have to do instead is just straight up set the alpha, and I don't think it's the draw set alpha. So I want to see how to do that really quick. I'm missing something. I thought that was the way to do it, but let me see if there's a different method that I should be using. tolerance, yeah. I think maybe visible. I mean, I don't want to just make it disappear immediately. Image alpha, that's got to be what it is. But at the same time, this doesn't have an image. Yeah, so there's image alpha. Is there text alpha? Nope. Let me look this one up, guys. Here we go. Draw text color with alpha. Transparency to be used on that. 4 colors. Specify the colors: top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. I think I can get away with this. I want to see one more thing, which is the color. Draw set alpha, that's what I had, right? I mean, I think what's happening is that's controlling everything, so that can't be right. Okay. It might also be something crazy, like using a blend mode. Sometimes those can be really crazy. Alright, still gotta read for a minute, guys. Not enough information, sorry. Gotta keep, I don't think this is gonna be enough. I mean, I could try it really quick. Similar to draw, but with colored vertices. Let's just try this one first. And I don't think this will actually try to apply a color to this because this is a custom font that we've used. So let's just try this one. And I'll remove these guys right here, and I'll say draw text. Come on, compile window, disappear. Draw text, color, X and Y, text. Then I'll just say see yellow here, see yellow, and see yellow. Come on, Game Maker, work with me. Game Maker, come on, man. And then the alpha. Alpha's 1 by default, so it'll be 1 at the start, and then it will be decremented by 0.05 each time. I don't think these will actually affect the color of our text. Our text is kind of yellow anyways, which is kind of why I was thinking yellow, but if it's actually going to affect it, then it's going to be all yellow, and it's not going to have any creative touch to the text that we've added. So let's check. The problem was, like I said, draw set alpha was changing the alpha for everything.
Mission 1, Death at Dusk. Go!
Okay, so that's still happening. I've got one more idea, and I think it's a good one. I think I've done something similar to this before, where I guess it didn't save any of my changes, first of all, so let's try to make this change again. I think, again, it's just because my computer's running slow, guys. Draw text color. So let's go ahead and try to keep these changes the way they were and see if that solves it. My computer acts a little buggy, obviously, when it starts getting overheated, so let's see if we can get a good save out of this time. Draw text color with the alpha that we set. We're not doing a draw set alpha. The way that I was going to solve this, if that doesn't quite work, which I think this might work, is to do a draw set alpha instead of the draw text color. When I'll set the alpha, then I'll draw my text, and then I'll set the alpha back to 1 again. So the alpha will definitely decrement each time, but then we'll just set the alpha back to 1 each time. And I think that should also work.
Mission 1, Death at Dusk. Go!
Sweet, that worked. I'd like it to appear for a little bit longer. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of slowdown. And I think it's mainly my machine and not anything else. My machine is just having a hard time handling everything that's happening. with the stream and with this, but I think I might like my other solution better, guys, the one that I was just talking about, which is draw set alpha to alpha, and actually I can just do draw set alpha outside of there so that I don't have to do that twice. Take this back down to score text and draw text, and then here's where we do our draw set alpha back to 1, just straight up 1. So we've drawn our text with the alpha that we wanted, and then we can just set it back to 1. That should save that way, and the same effect should occur. I did want to make it a little bit slower, but I'll do that real quick.
Scott Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go.
Yep, same effect. Good. Okay, good. Now we'll just make this a little slower. Let's just have it go 2 instead of 5, so that would be like, you know, that would go basically from 20 steps to 50 steps, so it would have to happen a little bit longer. Awesome, just got a follow. I'm the GOAT. Thank you so much for the follow. So I think that solves it for us, guys. Now the one thing that I was talking about doing was creating a parent, and the parent of this guy would basically have everything in it, and I think basically what, again, the reason why I have to do this is because it's it seems like it's pretty difficult for GameMaker to allow you to create an object and also pass in a variable to the object, anything besides X and Y. I tried it I don't know, 10 or 15 streams ago, and I had a lot of trouble trying to get the thing to work properly. I don't think the object could ever recognize it the way it needed to, a property that was set in a script for an object. Just kind of the way I was trying to do it. So I think this might have to be the way that we do this. So we'll just call this object score indicator child, and we'll just call this C1 child 1. Give it a parent helper score indicator. And the only thing that we're going to do different here is add an event, the create event, and the score text here will be +1 for this one. We're going to take the score text out of this guy right here. So score text will not exist in the parent. You know what, we could let it exist in the parent by default. Yeah, let's just do that so we don't write an extra object for the sake of just calling two different children. So we'll just call this child 1 for now. Child 1 will actually have a +2 as the indicator for score text. And we will do one more thing on this, which is event inherited. And I think we're good there. So we overwrite score text. And then we will call that one on specifically the death of the bubble eyeball, because that's the only one right now that has a different score text, unless the thing that killed it was the katana blade. So I will handle that a little bit differently when the time comes. I think I don't even need it right now. I'll go ahead and keep that object that I just created to have a different score indicator, but for now that's how we're going to do it. And I'll keep troubleshooting, creating objects with scripts so that you can basically pass in whatever parameters you want. Because if that's the case, we don't need to create these multiple objects with inheritances. Alright. No. Alright, let's just try this one more time. Let's take a look at the score indicator. Whenever it disappears, I reduce the speed of it disappearing, so it should stay on screen for a little bit longer. Let's just verify that. And I don't recall seeing the plus, so I might have to add that in.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Yeah, the only thing that's showing up is the 1, and so I want to say +1. I know I put it in there, but it's not showing up. I think I'm going to have to force it by forcing the whole thing to show up as a string. So I think we just do that by saying string here. I think that should solve our problem. And you know what? I shouldn't even have to say it right there. I should just say it right where it's created. So I'll have to do that in the child as well. So it should be showing that whole thing, not just the numeral. Oh, that's probably what it is, Chris. Crap. Yeah, that's probably what it is. It's probably not a plus sign. Right. I don't think this will solve it then, basically what I'm trying to do. Unless I end up changing the font just to verify that it's working. I could probably do that and then change it back whenever we add a plus sign in. So I might do that.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Looks so good. Man, my computer running so slow. Okay, so I noticed that I get a lot of slowdown when I'm shooting the mini bullets. I'm gonna look at that code really quick. Let's see. You don't like the fading? Okay, well maybe what we'll do then is just once it hits a certain point, we'll just let it go straight up and then just completely make it disappear. All right. So we'll set the initial Y then, and instead of decrementing the alpha, we'll just say we won't do anything here. We won't set any of the alpha. We won't worry about it. Set, and then instead of this, we'll say if Y is less than initial Y, we can go ahead and say equal to initial Y minus 50, because I think that would be about the same as what it was a second ago in terms of time on screen. And then we can remove draw set alpha here. Okay, pretty much done. Y is less than or equal to initial Y minus 50. Instance destroy. I think we're in a good spot. Okay. Flash for a second and then disappear. I've seen that in old school games. What do you mean, like flash every so often and then disappear, or? We could make it flash on and off a couple of times. We could basically set the visibility to, I don't know, I think the way it's going to look is going to be fine. So let's just leave it this way, because it'll flash on and then it'll just disappear. And then once it disappears, it'll get destroyed. Okay, I think that's pretty much done. Lots of slowdown on this, but I think my computer is running a little bit better. I'm a little concerned about the slowdown on the bullet. So I'm going to, let's test this one more time, guys, and we change the alpha and how the alpha works. Let's test this one more time, see how this works. But I think the next thing I was going to do anyways, now that that is complete, is going to move back to the weapon collision system and start adding all of the other weapons into this same script. And I think we might just need to make sure the garbage collection is happening a little bit better if this is what's truly causing the slowdown. I think it's mainly my slow computer right now, but because the reason why I think it's the computer is because I've had this working for a couple days and it hasn't been this slow. But slowly my computer has started to slow down, so.
Mission 1. Death at dusk.
Oh.
Go!
How's that, Chris? I've never seen that happen before. Okay, good enough for me. Good enough for me. Alright. I think I like how that's going generally. I did have one other idea on the boss. One thing that the boss doesn't have right now is the score indicator, but I thought about adding the score, sorry, not the score indicator, but the health bar to the boss and changing up the way it works. Based on something I saw on another shmup, and I kind of liked it a lot. So let me just see if that would make sense to do. And we would do this here. And let me just go look at the base enemy real quick. Draw event. I think I'll have a unique just added a score indicator, Cadrius, to the shmup basically, so now we can see every time we kill something we get a quick visual feedback that of what the score is that we just added to it. I gotta look this particular function up. Draw health bar. And this one will be bar anchored from the bottom. So it'll be 3, and we'll also do these quite a bit differently here. Instead of x minus 10, x1 will actually be X view, or actually let's just put this at room width minus 15. Y will be at let's see what position we want to do this at. Let's say 50. X2 will be not x1 plus 20, but x1 plus 10. Yeah, 10 is probably good. And then y1 plus, instead of that, let's do this like a more of a set, which is a room height minus 15. Yeah, let's try that. This is going to be crazy. It's going to be really crazy. And I have a feeling Chris isn't going to like it. But let's go try it. So I'm just testing the health bar on the boss, so I'm just going to fast forward straight to the boss. Yes, Cadrius, there is a leaderboard in game. There is not, the leaderboard is not currently networked to the internet. So a lot of these games will not have a network, but we will make some special things available for those networks that do have, for those arcades that let us connect to the network.
Mission 1, Death to Dog.
Okay, so this is telling me that the boss may not have hit points and max hit points like I think he does, but I'm not for sure I had both of those set. Hit points there, I don't have max hit points. Max hit points are way lower, so I Original hit points there. Max hit points equal to original hit points. This should fix our problem. He does have max hit points, but the max hit points as set by the default parent object are way lower than the hit points here. Now we're going to fix that because we've overridden it. So let's go ahead and try it again. And one thing I might do is just let, as soon as the boss shows up, we'll let his indicator show up on the side of the screen. Maybe not wait until his first hit occurs. But for now, I haven't gotten a chance to change that yet. Just testing. It'll only show up after the first hit occurs.
Mission 1. Death. Mission.
Alright, so I like it, but there are a couple of things I need to change about it. So I'm just going to play with this for a minute. And Chris, we can ultimately remove this if it doesn't look good or if it doesn't work. But I did want to do an outline, so I'm going to say true here. And then I wanted to say on the first one, not at 50, but let's put this at let's see, 20. Let's try 20. No, let's try 15. Make it a little more dramatic. I don't think that's going to be in the way of anything. If it is, we'll just move it. Let's put it at 20 because I think that might be too close to something. Let's try it one more time. Now it'll look quite a bit better, I think, mainly because it's going to have an outline on that bar, and that outline should look much better. Yeah, so let's just see what this looks like. Health bar size. I feel to do a bar on my side for fun. You want to do a bar on something that you're creating? Is that what you're saying, Cadrius?
Mission 1. Death at dawn.
I don't know. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, we could work on the colors. so that it fades to better colors a little bit, but I think overall it looks pretty good.
Mission complete.
Okay, so I definitely got to fix that when you go into level 2. I got to make sure the controls are re-enabled for the player. I'm getting kind of tired of that not being there. So let me see if I can figure that out real quick, guys, so that I make the controls available for player on level 2 specifically. I think it's mainly going to happen on reset room. I don't think it should be there. I think it's going to be... What am I missing here? There it is. Room level 1. Create event and... Thanks, Cadrius. I appreciate that. So we do say event inherited and set level vars, but I don't see anything there. Let me see if it's in menu. Come on, Game Maker. Work with me here, man. Jeez. Not clicking these things. Yeah, save the changes. Cancel. What happened here? Yes. Here's the menu. Open. Oh gosh, it somehow created an unknown action. Oh. So annoying when it does that. Alright, just gonna look through here real quick. Delete. Bye. Create event, base controller, room init. I'll hold up on that, Cadrius, on the border holder. I see you asking. I'm not sure if we're going to keep it. I literally just added it, and so we'll see. And Chris might want to do some of his own custom things with that, so we'll just sit tight on that for a minute. Thanks for asking, though. Thank you. Script reset room. Here it is. Nope, nothing there. Okay, just making sure I didn't miss something. Step event. Just what's in the room step? Nothing there. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Set level vars. I mean, I don't think this is it, but I'll look because this is a very small one. I just saw it. Where'd it go? Set level vars here. Okay, good. And I don't think what I'm looking for is inside of the room controller, or sorry, the boot controller. We're in scripts. I was thinking here might be inside of here. I'm thinking this is the most likely place. Script reset game. That's probably what's doing it. Helpers reset game. So this is probably what I mostly need for level 2. But this is persistent. So it technically should be in the next room. I think the only problem is that the controls were disabled and we need to re-enable them. So let's look at script update controls. I think that's literally all I need to do. And there's one argument, so we just pass in an argument and just say enable. Let's just try that in level 2 on the create. Okay, so I'm just basically going to go through, defeat the first boss, and then come back, and it'll basically push me to level 2, and I should have my controls enabled once I get to level 2. Because we disabled controls right at the end of level 1, and I don't think we've done anything to re-enable them. So, and as we noticed, the controller, the persistent controller, is exactly that. It's persistent. It should go with you from level 1 to level 2, so I don't need to set any new variables that you know, have been changed or anything like that. All I need to do is re-enable the controls. So let's see if this works.
Mission 1. Death at dawn. Go! Mission complete.
My controls are still not enabled. There must be something that is preventing this. Grr. I gotta make sure that controller is in there. It should be. We're gonna verify it right now. There, background level 2 is in there. Room level 2 is in there. Yes. And let's make sure my code stayed, and it did. Script update controls enable. Let me look at the script one more time to make sure I passed that correctly. Enable. Yeah, I did. So there's something else that's preventing me from doing that. Let me just look at the boss loop real quick. Boss 1 die. Drop the tank. Destroy the tank. Destroy all enemies. And movement final. Let's check this one out. Okay. Let me look at Skycurser's object. Would be in the step event if it's here, but I don't think it would be here. I think it's going to be in the boss loop somewhere. Okay, let's go look in the boss loop. Boss 1, 2. Death sequence to true. Let's go look at the boss. Step event. So we've got this guy set up just like everything else, and boss 1 collide, loop 2 start, boss 1 movement. Let's check boss 1 movement because that might control a lot of other things. I've already checked a lot of these other scripts. The boss freaking movement was insane to write. Took a lot of time. So pardon me while I look through these scripts. Boss 1 loop. So yeah, then goes into boss 1 loop. Once we're done with boss 1 loop, we go into either start the loop over or boss 1 reset loop 2. Ah, okay. So the death sequence to true is what's getting me here. I'm looking for where that all goes down at. Animation. If begin death sequence. Update controls disable. So that's what disables Skycurser right there. The next thing that I would think of is to make sure that the controls aren't just set for level 1, which they shouldn't be, because I mean I've controlled Skycurser in level 2 before. When I go straight to level 2 from the menu. thinking. Go back to this controller for level 2. Make sure I called this and spelled everything correctly. Enable script update controls looks right to me. Event inherited. What are we inheriting? It should just be some basic things. I think it's the script-based controller init. Yep. Game Maker's running slow on me, guys. My computer's running slow. I don't see anything that should be blocking me from enabling this. What could it be? Tempted to try it one more time, even though I basically didn't change anything. Let's try it again. I could move that. I don't think that'll do anything crazy.
Mission 1. Death at dawn. Go! Mission complete.
You can see that it looks like it's trying to enable something. Okay. Let's see. When the boss comes up initially, we disable and then we enable immediately. Let me verify how that's happening. Let's see. Enemy, level 1, boss. It's got to be in the scripts where we have the enemy boss 1, the loop. Where's the movement? There's the animation, but it's got to be a loop. Let's just try here first. Script update control search globally. Return home. Boss 1 animation. Update controls 0. Huh? What? Oh. It's commented out. Level complete. Aha. What do we have here? Script level complete. This looks like I was disabling here. I'm wondering if I'm... Yeah, I set the speed and direction to 0, but script level complete only runs at the very end of the level. Object controller persistent. Enable. Background level 1. Why is it here? One thing I might need to do is set global.keys disabled equal to false, and GameMaker just crashed on me. Way to go, GameMaker. That might be part of my problem. I gotta check the script, update controls to see if, to basically see if if Skycurser gets disabled, or if the keys disabled are set in that script. It's gonna be under helpers, update controls. Minimize. Keys disabled there. They are reset to false in the enable script. Man, how annoying is this? This is so annoying. What is it that's not working? Yeah, man, good job on the bar, dude. Looks good. Racking my brain here, guys. Sorry about this. trying to figure out why script update controls enabled here doesn't take over. Ah, there's the problem. That might be the problem. Let's set a variable to controls enabled equals false, and then let's go here. Well, let's not do that. Let's not do that there. Let's go into this script, Skycurser gen controller, because I think the problem was it just wasn't even created yet. Skycurser gen. Let's just do script update controls right here. Let's make sure that we can find that script real quick. And scratching my head a little bit why this is in the step event. That's why it only runs once. It's because it's in here. Let's just try this. Alright. Now let's see if this works. So basically I don't think it was working a minute ago because I was enabling the controls before Skycurser existed on level 2 yet. So now I put it right inside the script that generates Skycurser, and this should fix it. I've thought about it, Cadrius. Why are you asking? RPGs, man, they could be big projects. I think I'd like to do several smaller projects first and then work on a big RPG, personally. Alright, still waiting for the compiler. Here it is. Looks like it's almost finished. Go straight to the end here. Alright. Right. Yeah, it's pretty difficult to do, I think. Come on, Game Maker, work with me here.
Mission 1.
Fast forward.
Death.
So some of the controls are working because obviously I can add credits. Shotgun seems to be wanting to fire here. The Vulcan cannon, the katana blade, they're all reacting. I'll have to troubleshoot this one later, guys. Not exactly sure what the problem is. I'm just drawing a blank here, man. So the next thing I'm going to do, guys, not this stream, I think I'm going to take a look. I think as I was sitting here thinking about the script for the Vulcan cannon that we just created, so let's go look at that really quickly here. The Skycurser, weapons, mini blast bullet in the step event. Now instead of doing it exactly this way, we're going to pass this all into another script. The benefit of that is going to be that we're going to pass in what this particular object is that's calling the script, so that we can know which weapon is going to be passing through this collision script. I was thinking, though, while I was sitting there playing, and I felt like I noticed a little bit more slowdown than I should have, even though my computer is running hot and slow. I think there might be something that I can do to speed that up a little bit, which I'm trying to look for that right now. Sorry, give me a sec. It's hard to talk and move at the same time. Unfortunately, I'm a very not able to multitask very well. Okay, so collision gen is what I'm looking for. Inside of here, we just go ahead and do a DSWM gen. And so my idea here, guys, was to instead of doing it this way, and then we pass inside of the script weapon collision, I think I can gain a lot out of the way I'm doing it right now by first checking to see if the collision is occurring.